as a matter of fact, I'm just trying to put my words in the right perspective, and I'm fumbling to find the right words. I was given a book. Book clearly said few things, but I somehow lost the track of the journey in between. There are few unfinished agendas. Agendas of 1973's Constitution, a consensus document, a document which made me a democratic country, a document which gave the people of this country the right to govern, which gave the people of this country the right to exercise that power which is vested in them. And the unfinished agenda had different hiccups which were to be overcome by a clear resolve. And that clear resolve, as Mary Cummins has rightly put, was indeed circumvented due to certain obligations, certain road barriers, and certain interests. That might be a political interest, that might be a very different reason of occupying turf, that might be having some agenda for some person. But to me, it was honestly just getting back to the book, and that book is the Constitution of Pakistan. It largely meant that the powers were to be exercised by the chosen representatives. It has to have a certain knowledge. It has to have a certain initiative at the same time. If any one of these is lacking, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, the working of the committee will be compromised. And this working of the committees is very close to my heart. I've been an advocate of empowered standing committees since, for the first time in 2002, I came into the Assembly. And I tried my best for that. I went to the law ministers, I went to the chief ministers, I went to the speakers, arguing, advocating, professing my cause that empower the standing committees. This empowerment is actually the empowerment of the people. Well, let's take the case of public petitions. If public petitions to the standing committees, it is an excess for the public. If you provide some fiscal oversight, if you take an audit of the ministerial job done by the cabinet members, it is not just the House where the question hour makes them answerable in the House for their ministerial responsibility. You give them the berth. Basically, you work as an institution which creates an executive, which makes the law for the judiciary. So in the right words, if I say that the mother is the parliament for the system, I'm right to say that. I have every right to say it. The legislation is done there, the executive is being given birth there, they are responsible for their ministerial responsibility towards the parliament or the house, and the basic function of that is the standing committees. And you are the chosen people, those who have been elected again. Gurasa was giving me a very interesting thesis there while sitting in another room. He said that some DG of CSA, it was a new term for me, and I said, what is the CSA? He said it's some academy where the civil service people are being trained. And he goes, there is a word called elected executives. And he said, I told him that there are no elected executives, there are public representatives. No, it has its own weight. What Gurasa said in right manner, being a public representative and elected executive, what difference it has. Now I say that unfinished agenda of 1973's Constitution, and I draw a chronological order to him. I said this journey started in 1890 when it was Lieutenant Governor's Council. Then it was 1901 reforms. Then it was 1990 Minto Morley reforms. The journey continues. It comes with the Government of India Act 1935. Then we come to the creation of Pakistan, and there are few Governor General orders, and then the resolution, objectives resolution, and finally we have the 1973 Constitution. And the 1973 Constitution opens up with the second para that the executive power to be exercised by the chosen representatives, and by no length of understanding of a simple English plain speaking, I can find any other person exercising that executive power which is vested in the people by the Constitution. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first step. As the nursery for this democracy, these standing committees is a great load of responsibility you are carrying on. It has to be exercised, I said, with a lot of care, with due diligence. And with my own experience, I found out that once you are in front of the camera, a certain sense of responsibility comes pouring in. You have to check your words, you have to behave rightly. He has been Speaker of the National Assembly, member of so many cabinets, a great journey, a great political journey. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. These 2 days, I believe, would be really beneficial for your capacity building. You're working as the chairman of the standing committee. Your learning curve, learning from the members of the Senate, those who actually are practicing good committee procedures. From the members of the National Assembly, there would be an interactive session, I heard. So it would be a good learning curve altogether. Wish you best of luck for these 2 days. Every single meeting of every standing committee, may it be Public Accounts Committee, howsoever sensitive the matter is, whosoever is being questioned, the way the person who is questioning, rather it is not making somebody inferior, it is now compliment. Just over the passage of 2 to 3 months, once these proceedings got live, people are complimenting each other. People are working in the right way. I see so many proceedings every day on my this digital screen, and I find out that people are really doing good work. So, ladies and gentlemen, every little thing matters which you say there and which you do in the proceedings of the Assembly. Ahmad Sahib is here, Ahmad recently brought in a case of a huge multinational company, I won't name it. There was a laborer who had been fighting his case for 35 years. And at the end of his case, it went for another round of litigation, and he committed suicide. His family came to the standing committee, which courts cannot decide in 30 years. Appeals and things and due processes, I don't know whether they're due or undue, whether it's abuse of the process of the law. But this standing committee resolved it in one sitting. So, I won't take it more long because I want, once Sayyid Yusuf Zagilani is here, we have always learned from him. He's a beacon of democracy for us. He has served in very humble capacity of real man of people as chairman of the district council and gone to the offices of the President of Pakistan. He has been Prime Minister of Pakistan, chairman of the Senate, member of the Provincial Assembly in his own capacity as the members of this nation, founded this country on the basic principle of democracy, and somehow, to any length of argument, the democracy's reflection, true reflection, are in the houses of people. The houses, the representatives of the people come and sit. It is Senate of Pakistan, it is National Assembly of Pakistan, and there are provincial assemblies, and there are legislative councils of AJK and DB. Now, once we talk of National Assembly and Senate, somehow the parliamentary practices in Senate and National Assembly were far better than those of the provincial assemblies. Provincial assemblies were rather considered to be a place where executive was very overarching, and this legislative arm in the provinces, which the constitution clearly gave those corresponding articles. If something was in the constitution for the National Assembly, word to word it was there for the provincial assembly. But in practice, it was absolutely, National Assembly was doing it right. In provincial assembly, we were lacking far. And the first step was that half of the parliament is, half of the assembly is, the working of the standing committees. So I am thankful to all the House, which on its very first meeting adopted a resolution in which they said that the House is converted into a committee, and committee decided as a whole House to adopt the rules at par with National Assembly, and whichever rules were good and in practice of the Senate, we also adopted that. Now, once that power is there, it has to be exercised with due care, the power of oversight. I say this word power, I just don't find it politically correct, but I have to say it. Rather, it is a function of a parliamentary oversight. And if you provide that parliamentary oversight, now it has